Welcome to Adventures in the Shed. It's self-isolation time. I'm hiding from my wife. No, I'm not really hiding from her. She's in the house. I've just come back inside because... I've come outside to come inside the shed so that I can check on that carbon fibre. So I set up the resin last night, and let me just take you on a bit of a journey here. Please excuse the mess. It is going to get worse, not better. This is our ABS plastic 1mm sheet, and it has 3 layers of carbon on it. The first thing I notice is that it's kind of warped. Look at that, it's like pulled snug. It's become... Good job, Paul. At least you didn't hit yourself in the balls. Yeah, it's become kind of curved. Let me put the camera on the tripod here, and then we'll have a look-ski. The other thing you might notice is that now there's a silver reflective roof. We're very fortunate, here's a backstory, we're very fortunate to have free storage at a local business called Gardener's Dream. It's an online garden centre. That's where we get to store the Subaru, which means we don't have to pay its road tax and get it MOT'd, which is good for straight pipes. And not having it MOT'd, it means that we can save a bit of money on road tax and so on. So we're very fortunate that we've got that space. Anyway, they were throwing out a bunch of insulation, and so now I have some soundproofing and heat insulation in the shed. Upgrades. Right, onwards with the carbon fibre. Right, I'm tempted. I'm really tempted to try and peel this. Let me move this light. Good grief, Paul. Okay, so here's the deal. This carbon fibre cloth, 3 layers, drying overnight, but it's still tacky. Look, I don't know if you can hear that. It shouldn't be tacky, so I think there might be a problem with the resin. So, this stuff that had the labels falling off it, I think this is fit for the bin. So I'm gonna do another test with some new resin. I'll use 2 new packets. I'll put a little bit of extra hardener in, and we'll see how we get on. But I wonder if I can peel this off. Let me give that a try. In the interest of science, let's see if this will peel. I thought it might, crack off, but I am dealing with, epoxy glue here. No. I tell you what, it's very stiff from 3 layers. So am I. Oh, come on, this could actually work. I feel it in my bones. It's coming. Is that tickly bit? Oh, that's an unpleasant noise. Oh. Right. That's interesting. This side is dry. The top is wet, so the exposed surface is wet, but the bottom is dry and smooth. And it's definitely carbon fibre. It's so strong. So applying roughly the same, let me zoom a little bit, just for reference, I'll apply roughly the same force here. So there's a bit of force on the plastic, and same force on the carbon fibre, and it just doesn't, you really have to work for it. So anyway, it's much stronger, would you believe it? That's why they use it. But I think in terms of the finish on this side, that's impressive. That's better than what I expected. I mean, that looks like actual carbon fibre. You wouldn't realise that what I'd done was just poured some epoxy on that. The downside is that is the blind side. That's not the side where we would see it. This side with the tackiness and the uneven surface, that's the side that we'll actually have presented when we skin the hood scoop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some new resin, some new hardener. I'll get a fresh piece of plastic. I'm sure I have some more around here. And I will mix with fresh stuff and we'll test that. Because what I want to be able to do is get this to a point where I can sand it. Because I don't want the hood scoop to be... I don't want this hood scoop to be, you know, rough looking. I would like it to be smooth carbon fibre. It's definitely going to have some like blemishes in there because this carbon cloth, it fouls really easily. You can see there that's like a double stitch, like stretched across 2 stitch marks. That was a little pinhole. So it's not going to be perfect, but I want it to be smooth and sandable. So I want to get some hard resin on there. So I'll fetch up a new batch. This time I'm going to go a little differently. Let me give this a little dust with me microfiber. And I've got this honey wax. It's a mold release agent. This is made by a company called Stoner. And I'm going to use the included pad thing, and I'm going to hit this with a bit of wax. I'll hit it with a couple of coats, and my hope is that this will make the finished carbon fibre resin pop off much easier tomorrow than what we saw today. So that's one coat. I'll give it one more. While that first coat was drying, I just did a quick sand on the carbon, and it does sand, but it's more like bonding the glue into little clumps. You can see on the bottom of the pad there, it's just covered in little black clumps. So that's not going to sand. It is still tacky. Even though it's dry on the bottom, it's tacky on the top. That's for the bin. But we learned a way that didn't work. Let's hit this again. Same as last time. Got my little cup on here. Going to zero that out. I'm going to fill it with some resin. I'm going to be more generous this time when I apply it. Okay, so the resin, I'm going to use the same, what was it, I think 24 grams last time. Or not, because I've just totally fucking overcooked it with 40 grams. Let's put some of that back. Idiot. It's big brain time in the shed. Right, what have we got? 30, right, I can do those maths. Now, note the difference between the two hardeners. This hardener is about 2 months old. This one has been in garages and sheds for probably about 2 years. They're so different. Like, one is a thick orange fluid and one is a very thin white fluid, or clear fluid. So let's assume that there is a problem with the old hardener. They both say 80-30 slow hardener. It's a 30% mix, so let's do that now. Actually, I can do those maths in my head. What is 30% of 30? It's 10. So I can add on 10 grams. I'm going to reset that again. My previous hardening stick, don't know if you can see, my previous hardening stick is hardened to the... oh yeah, I can use the back of that, yeah. Salt. It's no budget build. Oh, that fucking stinks, right. So I want 10 grams. I'm not feeling lucky, so I'm going to go with 9 grams. 9 grams, that's perfect. Remember, and use gloves and, you know, stay safe. God, that's polyoxypropylene, I mean, right, okay, I don't want any of that shit in my hands, right. It's harder to see the mixture this time because it's clear and clear. Whereas last time you could see the yellow mixture coming through. But anyway, I'm going to mix this up. Choppy choppy. It stinks, which means I'm breathing it, which means I'm going to stick my respirator on. I apologise, this will ruin the sound. But we're all adults here. We don't want coronavirus. We don't want amino acid poisoning or whatever the hell you get from that. I'm even going to open the door. Whee doggy. Right. Carbon fibre shears, same as before. I'm going to do another 3 pieces. We're trying not to knock over the resin. Sorry, I know the sound is much worse when I put this face mask on, but I was immediately getting a headache, so I don't want to breathe that for any longer than is completely necessary. There's 1, 2, 3, a bit diagonal, but 3 pieces of carbon cloth. Move my scales out of the way. I swear, everything we do is much faster when we don't film it, so I hope you appreciate having something to watch on the toilet or wherever you are right now. I'm looking for my little rolleroo. I've got my little rolleroo. I have mixed up my epoxy, and I'm going to go heavy-handed this time. So, piece 1. It's about 1/3 of the epoxy. This time I'm trying not to manipulate the fibres at all. Last time you saw me like rolling the fibres in. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm like topping it, like putting icing on a cake or something. And I'm going to trust that gravity is going to be gravity. Right, I've used very little force on that, apart from the fact that I just hit it. Crossing over the weave, putting that on, not poking it with my fingertips, because that's what I did last time. Just going to press that down, get it to stick to the other one. More resin. Even more resin. Now when you do carbon fibre, the idea is that you can make it as strong as, you know, a metal product, but it's lighter. Now, when you use an oven-cooked, vacuum-bagged carbon fibre product, you use it's like the bare minimum amount of resin. Which keeps the weight down. Because the weight comes from the combination of the cloth and the resin. Use too much resin, you end up with a heavy product. Crossed over, draw that on the top again. I feel better about this one. I'm just going to use the last of my resin on the top there. And then loosely spread it out. If you're doing vacuum bagged carbon fibre, it pulls the resin through all of the fibres for you, whereas I'm here basically hoping that gravity is going to soak it through for me and make the job a good one. And I've picked up a stray bit of carbon fibre here there, so I'm going to pull that off. Here, I don't even know if that's the right word for it. Right, I'm going to pull that off just to one side so that it's not too much. Which will probably glue it to my desk, so I'm going to put a piece of wood under it. There you go, that'll fix it, right? Maybe. And in other news, you saw me working with this the other day. Pull it out of my silicone mould. Ta-da! I've got a new stirring stick made out of... Oh, fuck. I've got half a resin stick made out of... God damn it. Anyway, so it's an almost useful stirring stick that I've made out of spare resin. I don't have any spare resin this time because I put it all on. That's looking really wet. Let me take you down here. That is very wet. But I'm hoping it dries hard so that I can sand through the layers there. I'm just gonna move a little bit over here. I know what I'm doing, honest. Right, then I'm going to leave it alone. Let me put that on the wood, and I can pull it off the wood. Right. That I will leave to dry overnight. I'm hoping that it cures properly this time and doesn't go sticky. Because what I want to do is sand it to a smooth finish, because that's the end product I'm looking for. I want a sanded, smooth finish on top of the hood scoop when I'm done here. So that was a bit of a meandering, rambling video. I'm trying to learn as I go here, so if you have any comments, tips, questions, please put them in the boxes down below. I'm on quarantine, so I don't have any hobbies other than this, so I'll be able to read your comments. Let me know what you've been working on, if you're also stuck in this self-isolation weird zone. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your kind words and your comments. And we will see you again soon. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. I hope that doesn't go on fire.